In this video, I'm going to show you all the vegan meals I made and ate on a cozy autumn Sunday. Most are recipes that I make pretty frequently, and now that we are in the full swing of autumn, I've been really into warm, soul-satisfying meals like pastas and autumn veggies. I also did a little bit of baking, which was so fun and delicious. Plus, I also got up to some long overdue indoor gardening that I will show you guys later on in the video. So I started off my morning bright and early with a cup of coffee and an apple cranberry scone. These are so good, vegan, gluten-free, and I just posted the recipe video for them on my channel below, so check them out if you want to learn how to make them for yourself. They're very yummy. Later on in the morning, when I was a little bit hungrier for a more filling breakfast, I made some tofu scramble breakfast wraps. I just cooked some extra firm tofu that I crumbled into a pan with some soy milk, a pinch of turmeric for color, and some black pepper to help activate the curcumin in the turmeric, plus some vegan plant-based cheese shreds and fortified nutritional yeast for even more cheesy and savory flavor. Lastly, I just sprinkled in some black salt to give it that eggy flavor. This is always so quick to whip up. I'd say 10 minutes tops, and then you have a delicious plant-based scrambled egg that you can use in however you like. Like I already mentioned, I decided to make a wrap, so I warmed up a gluten-free tortilla to make it more pliable, then added in some spinach, plus a hash brown patty that I air fried until it was nice and crispy. Then I just served the tofu scramble on top of that. Now I could have added more veggies like sliced tomatoes or bell peppers, but I kept it simple with just some salsa that needed using out. Sometimes after rolling up the tortilla, I'll throw it in a hot pan and grill it so the tortilla gets nice and crispy, but I didn't feel like it, so I just cut it in half and went to town. This was really so yummy. It's one of my favorite breakfasts that serves both Brad and I, plus it leaves a little extra tofu scramble left over for the next day. For lunch, it was leftovers from the previous night's dinner, which was a mushroom and artichoke alfredo with chickpea penne. I grated some vegan Parmesan cheese from BioLife on top, and it added the nicest touch. This has actually been one of my favorite purchases recently, so I highly recommend you try it out if you get the chance. Anyway, this pasta totally hit the spot. It was so creamy and full of yummy veggies. It was like a hug in a bowl. The recipe video is linked below, so make sure you check it out. I love pasta. Later on in the afternoon, I was doing some recipe testing, and this is one of my versions of apple crumble. I actually recently posted a full recipe video of the final recipe that turned out beautifully, so do make sure you take a peek at that sometime. Anyway, apple crumbles are one of my favorite fall desserts, and I wanted to make a version of it that was full of healthier, more nutritious ingredients while still keeping it totally delicious. So for this crumble topping that you see here, I substituted sunflower seed butter for butter, and it baked wonderfully, but unfortunately it didn't really result in the same crispy topping that you get when using butter. But in my opinion, it didn't really take anything away from the recipe in terms of flavor. If anything, I actually really love the nuttiness of the topping, and the texture overall was not bad. It wasn't even soggy. It just wasn't really crispy either. But still, I would totally make this again if I didn't have butter on hand, and I'd recommend it to anyone who's eliminating oil from their cooking. When I served this, I added a dollop of vegan vanilla yogurt, and it was just so delightful. A warm, cozy little treat on a Sunday afternoon. Seriously, you just cannot beat that. So earlier in the video, I mentioned that I was going to set up my indoor garden once again. So this is me just starting to plant the seeds to kind of get the ball rolling on having some new herbs and greens growing in my house once again. I've really missed it. So I'm just adding seeds into the center of these little peat pods, and I'm just using the end of a toothpick to pick up the seeds. I'm growing some lettuces, kale, bok choy, a few other delicious things. I'll keep you guys updated later on. And then you can see here, I already have some herbs growing in my tabletop garden that you harvest. So cute, right? Well, that was fun. Just finished setting up my iHarvest. Now all my seeds are going to be germinating over the next few days, so I can finally turn my iHarvest on for the first time in a few months. So yeah, I am in the freakishly weird pinkish glow of my U-Harvest. I'm gonna make dinner. I'm gonna do something I have made before, but not for a really long time, and especially not for a while on the channel. I'm gonna do like a warm autumn salad, like a root veggie salad. I usually call it something like a beet, Brussels and carrot salad, but I don't have Brussels sprouts, so I'll be roasting up some beets, carrots, and some butternut squash. And I'm just gonna do a really quick, easy roast with maybe a little bit of balsamic vinegar and some herbs. Serve it up on a bed of greens with maybe a grain, and call it a day. So yeah, let's do that. We have a lot of root veggies. I have an entire container here. Let me just open it. Of carrots that I have not even cracked into. It's like 5 pounds of carrots right there, folks. We've got half of a large butternut squash and a whole basket of beets. There you go. So easy peasy, I'm just peeling the butternut squash skin off and then slicing the whole thing in half, scooping out those seeds, but saving them to make, you know, delicious roasted seed things. Love snacking on those in the fall. And then, yeah, I'm slicing them up into about 1-inch cubes, throwing them on a baking tray, setting them aside, and then I'm gonna do the exact same thing with those big ass carrots. I'm using 5 here. I think if you wanted to make this for yourself, but you didn't have the vegetables I'm using, you could use parsnips, turnips, any other root veggie that you like. I just really love roasted root veggies. And then here I added just a little touch of avocado oil and some simple herbs. I think I just used garlic powder, salt, and pepper, and that was it. And I just quickly massaged them together, tossed everything in the oil and spices, and I popped them in the oven and let them do their thing. I cooked them until they were fork tender, and while they were cooking, I cooked some quinoa in my Instant Pot, which I'm serving here as kind of the base for our salad. Tossing in those baked veggies. These were so good. And what I love about roasting root vegetables is it really like brings out their innate sweetness. Like beets taste so sweet after you roast them. Anyway, then I just added some fresh arugula, added a little touch of balsamic vinegar on top. You could also add oil, but I was just trying to limit my oil intake for the day. And then for some extra protein, got some hummus. Yummy. And some sunflower seeds on top for a crunchy little garnish because I am a textural eater. I gotta have all the textures. So this was the bowl and it was very, very good. I still love salads, even when it's like cold out, but warm salads are like just so cozy. And you still get lots of vegetables in, but I don't know. I love roasted autumn veggie salad so much. And this is the first time I've had one since like, I don't know, winter. So this just feels super special. That is so tasty. It's like totally filling too, because you got the quinoa, you know, got some complex carbs, you got some non-starchy veggies with the beets and the carrots and butternut squash, and you still got some leafy greens, got some healthy fat with the sunflower seeds, and a little bit of extra protein with the hummus. It is very good. Well, that was such a delicious dinner, and yes, I ate the whole thing. I was hungry. And yeah, I am so full. I am just ready to crawl into my jammies, crawl under a blanket. Did I say crawl into my jammies? That just feels weird. Get into my jammies and crawl under a blanket on the couch. Read a book, go to bed. It has been such a good day, and I'm so glad you guys joined me for all of my cozy eats and recipe testing, and it was just such a nice, cozy fall day. It was my kind of day. Make sure you like this video and subscribe below so you don't miss more of my what I eat in a days like this one right here. I'll see you guys in another video. Bye!